I go. It's getting dark out here, so I'm gonna have to speed this up here. So I'm just going to do a general energy. Like I said, we've got main cards out, Page of Pentacles. This is for the month of May, by the way, 2023. Or if, as you find it, this is going to be for whoever feels that this is relevant for their life at this time. So, but this is sort of the general time frame I'm kind of gearing towards. So for May 2023, again, some of you, this is just general energy. Energy is something that's always malleable. It's something that you can change, but this is just where things are coming in. And again, you can always shift and change your, make different decisions, and things will turn around differently as the month proceeds. So again, some of you you're not all making decisions in the same, same date, time frame, whatever. So this is going to play out for some of you a little further into the month. This is the start of these energies. So some of them, if they're a heavier energy, will be definitely playing out further in the month. But right now, what I see here is a lot of just finish up cycles and something new that is coming in here. But there's some disappointment and a real sense of aloneness in this month of May. I feel like you are disappointed in a particular connection, whether this is a partnership or whether this is a close friendship, but either way, or a loving relationship, but either way, it's something that could be around another air sign here as well. Libra is also coming through here, Gemini. But I feel like the energy is one of sadness. It's been a bit of a burden, or something's been a hardship. I feel like you're disappointed in the outcome of something, but I do feel like overall there's still a lot to be, still a lot of good things that are coming in with this, even though you're not feeling it in this particular month. So I feel like in terms of finance, there is something new that's coming in. I feel like you're getting some reciprocation. There's some kind of help, some kind of assistance in a particular area in around your finances. So there is help for the month of May. And I do feel like you're just going to have to endure. There is going to be a little bit of a hardship here in terms of money. I think trying to sort of meet some of your bills at this time might be a bit challenging in the month of May, but I do feel like the Page of Pentacles is an indicator that there is something, something about that is a new income source, or some extra money that's coming in from something anyway. It might be a little saddening. It's, disheartening that it's not working out quite as you had expected. I feel like your resources are a bit of a letdown for you in the month of May, but I still feel like you have family around you here, and there is definitely some strong connection and on an emotional level to that home base. So whatever family is to you, or good friends, that kind of thing, but you're still very connected to that aspect, and that might be where some of the help is coming in. But again, I feel like you're a little bit disappointed in the money and the resources that you had hoped would be coming through. The job maybe didn't last as long as you'd hoped, or something like that. So again, there is a little bit of sadness in around, I shouldn't say sadness, but a little bit of disappointment in around a creative project. Maybe something is not taking off as quickly as you had expected. I feel like there's a certain level of burnout, a little bit of fatigue that you're also enduring here as well. I feel like you are the King of Wands, very inspired kind of person. I feel like you have leadership qualities and that kind of thing, but I feel like you're a little bit on the burnout side right now. And I feel like your communication in around a connection, however this connection is, significant person to you, whatever, is still one that's a little bit distant, or a little harsher words, or blunt in the way that you communicate this month. So again, I still feel like you need to do a little bit of self-care here in terms of your self-talk, what you're saying to yourself, as well as your own physical body, because the Ten of Wands tells me you're on a bit of a level of over fatigue, emotionally as well as physically. So to me, I would say, self-care is something that you need to kind of address this month. I do feel like you are somebody, when you really do put yourself together, you really do have a real charisma about you, and that there's a lot of attention that you can draw to yourself. But I just feel like you're a little disappointed, a little run down for that to happen this month. Again, I feel like your strongest point here is that you are connected very much so to family, and there is some long-term financial thing that you have some hope for as well further out. I don't feel like you're in that space just yet, because you're still over here with the Page of Pentacles. So there's a lot of steps before we get to that 10 of Pentacles. But right now, Page of Pentacles is like, to me, it's a new job or a little bit of extra income or a little bit of money that's coming through in trickling form, I would say, because with the Strength card, you're having to endure. Six of Cups means it's kind of either help that's coming in from somebody else, or it's a little bit of, here's a small amount of money that's kind of, does kind of perk things up, make you a little bit happy to kind of know that you've got something, that is helping you to kind of push through in this month. But it just feels like your level of happiness is not at an all-time low, but it's also not at an all-time high. And I feel like the changes really need to be around your emotional state before you really are able to kind of shift into any level of reconnection in a connection, a significant connection to you, as well as to yourself. And I think number one, first and foremost, ourselves, that is who we need to, if you can love yourself, you're not judging yourself, you're a better partner for other people too, right? But either way, the Five of Cups is that energy of this is where things need to change. So we'll kind of start with that. I'll just turn my lights on here a second. Okay, so that's just kind of the general synopsis of it here, and then we'll just get right into things. So just to, I guess like I said, the main cards out are all minor arcana, nothing major, so I feel like it's a finish up cycle for you. So I feel like you're kind of in that space of, I'm going to dabble with something new that's coming in terms of money, that kind of thing. But, overall, I mean, the Queen of Swords, this connection seems to be something that'll play further out, I would say, into July. But right now, the Queen of Swords is somebody who is kind of, trying to keep a sharp eye on things, clear boundaries, direct communication. It's all of that. So this is somebody who really solves problems, that kind of thing. And maybe that's also the headspace that you're in, is trying to solve some problems here. Because I feel like, you're not really hiding your feelings incredibly well. I think that there is a certain toll physically that's, kind of coming in here as well. And I just feel like there is, even though there's some ideas, coming through, quick thinking, comes through with the Queen of Swords energy, it's still somebody who's quite reliable. So whether this is you or another person, somebody is a real strong, reliable person that you have been able to lean on or whatever. And this is still something that is to your advantage. Again, the Lover's card, again, this can be Gemini. But either way, that's sort of the main ones that kind of come out for me. I did post some other cards here too on advice, so I'll go through those here as well. But I feel like you're trying to make you're trying to get a clear understanding on a connection is what I would say. You're doing a lot of thought in around that as well. So like I said, the Ten of Wands energy just speaks to me like you're kind of on that burnout sort of side of things. But 10 is a final card. It's a time for something's about ready to transition. So there is a new beginning, a new cycle, a new start that is going to prepare you for a new beginning. So whether this is a new start in a connection and how you see one another, or, a new start in terms of how you are actually dealing with yourself, these are still sort of minor arcana, as I said. So I don't feel like it's breakthrough energy yet. It feels like you're just sort of tying up the end cycles of where things are at. So you're a little bit on burnout. So until you get through that and get your energy back, it's really hard to have some massive breakthrough. But I feel like your workload's a little bit heavy for this month, or at least you've been feeling quite run down. And again, your immune system could use a little bit of a boost, vitamins or otherwise, for whoever this, kind of resonates for. But it's a lot of cards around sort of setting boundaries with your time and your energy so that you can heal. I do feel like you are still, I mean, you're carrying on, but I feel like the responsibility that you're enduring right now is maybe a little bit much than what you can really, you know, foresee yourself handling, because like I said, there's a level of fatigue here that's pretty, pretty, you know, heavy. So, and again, you've got the Strength card over here as well, just to, that you're enduring through a particular situation. But I still feel like you're not in that place where you're really free to make any decision yet about something. I feel like there's a lot of things that kind of have to open up before you can really go forward with something. Maybe summer is relevant here as well because of the because of the Cups. But the Four of Cups, like I said, still speaks to, things being a little bit monotonous or boring, or you're, feeling undervalued, or you're feeling like your projects or something is undervalued here as well. I feel like you want to take action, but you're too burned out, like I feel like this is just you sort of spinning your wheels and not able to, um, feel like you feel like you've missed that opportunity with the Four of Cups, as they say, right? This is you just being a little bit deflated in some way here. So again, whether this is, feeling a little bit down, sorry for yourself in the moment, that kind of thing, maybe just feeling like you want to be a little bit lazy or whatever because you've just been on burnout, you just feel like you're so fatigued that, you want to be able to slow it down, but there's not a lot of that coming through yet. Again, it's wrapping up a cycle, so you're on the precipice of some kind of a change, but I would still say it's further out. Some of you are going to be in this energy a little bit longer than others with that Ten of Wands. Doesn't necessarily mean it's like finished up in 2 weeks just because the card comes out in 2 weeks, but it does indicate that there is some growth that will be coming up ahead here. But most of the shift needs to be in around your emotional front here with the Five of Cups. So, because as I said, there's cards of you just being drained, things being monotonous, and you want to take action, but there's too much dissatisfaction. It's that kind of thing. So again, I feel like there is a new source of income, whether this is just a new job or something. It's still a small amount of money, I would say, coming through. Others, you might have a little bit of help in this month. This Six of Cups to me is more of a little bit of help, even on an emotional front. So maybe not so much on the financial front, but the Six of Cups really speaks to more help along an emotional exchange of give and take. So again, this is a small source of income, whatever this is. It's disappointing you in some way that it's not going to be, enough resources, but it is still something. So we have to be grateful for that. Things are not as bleak as they appear to be, or how you might be interpreting it this month. Again, I feel like you will start to see that, even though this is a little bit of, sorrow, again, I feel like once you get control of your thoughts with the Five of Cups, this is what you feel is a setback. Once you get control of that, I feel like your energy is going to pick right up again. Most of this is emotional energy drain. And I would say that you need to just concentrate on the things that you have left, not what's lost. And that will be able to help you move forward in some way. So again, I feel like there's just, if you're in a job situation, it feels boring, monotonous, you're tired, you're emotionally kind of, what's the word? Emotionally sort of uninvolved in whatever it is that you're doing. It just feels like you're kind of going through something here, going through the situation. It also feels like to me, whatever this job is or whatever this extra money income is, that kind of thing, Six of Cups is still a card that speaks to me as something from the past. So whether this is childhood issues that are coming in for some of you that you're sort of dealing with again in this period, or if it's an old job that you have done before, something like that kind of resonates either way. And I do feel like you're just kind of dwelling on the past a little bit here, or dwelling on something in around this Queen of Pentacles. So somebody who is more of a mature energy. There's some grievance around that, emotional disappointment, like I said, that kind of thing. But I still feel like it could be a long-term connection or something from the past. And maybe there is a certain element of disappointment, but again, there's still so much strength in these cards, and it just feels like your emotional malaise is really what's holding you up. So, and I feel like that's what's draining your energy here as well. Because Ten of Pentacles, like I said, that's a really strong card, and I feel like that is something that is allowing you some level of security. So you may be taking it for granted, really, because this is still a card of, everyday life, even though it's it's a very positive, everyday life. This is a really strong card of, don't fear things. At least in the month of May, you can feel that everything, is in its place. Things will work out. You're making it. You just have to keep pushing forward. And I know your energy is drained, but like I said, keep pushing forward, because this is where you are going to have some level of further out. There is going to be something that you will be able to kind of build on, because like I said, all of these are major cards. Like, I mean, they're not the major arcana, but they're certainly King of Wands, Queen of Wands. These are the cards that are clarifiers further out. Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. These are a lot of people that are involved in your life to kind of bring something, forward. And again, this is a little bit further out, but I still feel like there could be some paperwork or something in around a connection that you might be dealing with further out. Not right in this month, but I feel for the month of May, you're just kind of same old, trying to, maintain and try to pull yourself out of this emotional funk that you're sort of going through. Is some kind of a change there that will, once you make that change emotionally, you'll be able to actually concentrate on things again. And I feel like, again, you're kind of in that, you're undergoing some kind of a change for sure, because 10 of Pentacles, like I said, I mean, this should be you being carefree and really focused on prosperity and happy and that kind of thing, but it's sandwiched between disappointment and emotional letdown. So I feel like, and yet underneath this, there is a card of Queen of Cups, so you're intuitively kind of being led down a path that's going to lead you to something here, that's not only just going to be, financially long-term money, but also it's you with the Queen of Cups. This is a rich emotional bond. Even in terms of family, there's really strong connections there. I don't think you have to go looking for something. I think you have everything that you need in place. It's just that you're just not seeing the value in it with the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. It may not be living up to your expectations, but nonetheless, it is still something that is going to be there for you in the long haul. I do feel like, as I said, with maybe there's some kind of inheritance or something coming through for some of you. And there could be some level of letdown in around that. Maybe that's why there's some degree of sadness here for some of you. Usually when I see some other cards, that's more of a card, like a card indicating there's been a loss of life in some way. And I don't really like to talk about things in that regard, but I just feel like there could be something here that, something that about, maybe, in regards to that's just kind of disappointing. As I said, I mean, there is some kind of emotional burden of some sort that you are dealing with, period, in the month of May, but you just have to power through the course here. Like I said, your main card out underneath the money. And again, it's a new source of income. It's just some new extra amount of money or whatever that's coming through, nominal as it is. But it does give you a little bit of hope here. And again, with the Strength card, you just have to power through it, because it's something you have to do, is really what it speaks to me as. I feel like your big cards out here are going to be further out. You're still not in that energy yet. But it's Queen of Pentacles, it's Queen of Cups, it's Queen of Wands. There's a lot of energy, a lot of leadership, a lot of charisma, a lot of real spark, a lot of real connection to intuitive, divine, assistance and that kind of thing. A lot of grounded energy, a lot of resources that are here. And again, this is a little further out. You're not quite in that space yet, but you just have to have faith that, things will change. But it starts with your mentality first. You have to change something in that area first before something really comes about for you. Again, the Strength card is still the indicator that, you've got the willpower and the determination to make it through this. Your endurance will pay off, and it could be a Leo that's also prevalent or present in this month as well. But it's almost like there is a sense of, I need to deal with my emotions before I can deal with the practical matters of my life, and even though I do have something ahead here to look forward to with that 10 of Pentacles, there's still this area of my life where, I'm still emotionally kind of suffering in some way. But again, it's not to say dismiss your feelings, but it's just more about, take the time for self-care. It doesn't mean stop your jobs, but it does mean, take a little bit of time for an extra walk, or doing something that makes you feel a little healthier, a little happier, or a little more grounded, because you just need to endure this difficulty a little bit longer here. So outside of that, I do feel like you are going to be striving towards some balance further out, because the 10 of Wands after this, this is energy where you're just, you're just drained, so you're going to have to push through it before you get to the other side. So it won't be happening in May, but I feel in June there is going to be some good things that will be coming out, because like I said, I see so many good cards here. Queen of Pentacles, that's resources, that's people here, and like I said, intuitive ability, a lot of ambition, a lot of leadership qualities, and really being a visionary in some area of your life. So again, I feel like right now with the Strength card, you're trying to get those debts paid. This is really about you moving ahead, just really pushing through something, and that's kind of where that's at. But again, even in terms of your overall health, I think you just need to take some time to rest a little bit here. Like I said, you've kind of, your endurance will pay off, but you just got to give it some time. So I'll just wrap it up here and I'll get to the advice card. So again, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So again, that's still a card of resources and all of those things. And like I said, these are amazing cards for further out. And they are the clarifiers for where you're disappointed in the money. I feel like that will change further out. I feel like you will have the resources that you're looking for. Queen of Pentacles, it could be a card where there's some money up ahead here too, but I feel like queens are really more about how do I achieve my goals and how do I use my resources well. It's more receptive to me. And I feel like this is still in around a goal for sure. There is something that's in around a goal that is going to be bringing in some extra cash. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo could also be relevant here too. But again, further out, I would say in the regards to an achievement. But I still feel like you're getting flashes of inspiration here too with the Queen of Wands, that kind of thing. And again, Ten of Pentacles, there will be some kind of dramatic increase to your income, but not yet. Further out, you're still in the energy of it. It's still around you. So something that you probably put your time and effort and energy into is still sort of there. It's just that I don't see any full payout yet. There's a lot of cards of disappointment. So I wouldn't say you're in that space yet. Again, once we get to the Queen of Swords over here, though, too, that speaks to the same. There's some boundaries. There's some, you're trying to solve problems still in this month, especially in regards to a connection, business connection or otherwise significant connection. But either way, there's something here that speaks to some distance. You're not really hiding your feelings here. I feel like you're pretty straightforward with the way that you direct your conversation. And there's also a sense that, like I said, once you incorporate kind of that intellectual capability, and there's a lot of writing sort of, again, I see writing whenever I see swords, energy, and wands together. To me, that's writing or communicating or something with the written word, using it in some way, either, in an external way, because that kind of speaks to me more externally as well, with the King and Queen of Wands, even though further out is what I would say there. But that Queen of Pentacles is still in around that energy of I've got to use my resources wisely. I can't just jump right in. I've really got to make practical moves here still, because she's still taking things in. Again, with that Queen of Pentacles, it's building on your achievements or building on your emotions. It's building on your finances, and that's, to me, where that's at. I feel like you are still in that place of money is a bit of a struggle, like I said, but you're still able to keep your head above water. But I think for all the effort and the time and energy you put out, you're disappointed in the result of things. I would still say, like I said, you've got something further ahead here that is going to show you there is true wealth up ahead. I just feel like you just have to keep powering through, believe in yourself, and take that time to build on your physical health and do something there emotionally as well, whether that's bringing in videos, looking up things on relationships or how to better things or how to better self-talk or whatever it is, videos or books or whatever. I just feel like that would help to balance you out so that you're not feeling this, perpetual drain on your energy, because that's what's holding you back. You're holding yourself back emotionally. And it's not to say that you don't have a reason. It's more about you can always have a reason till the end of time, but it's still, going to draw on your stability. It's still going to draw on your energy the longer you stay in that headspace. There was somebody, Mel Robinson or something like that. I forgot what her name was, but I love her. I do watch her on occasion. She talks about, whenever you're trying to get through a situation, don't ruminate in it. It's like getting out of bed, you do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then jump up. And it's the same thing too in an emotional headspace. Before you go too far down the rabbit hole, it's a good idea just to stop and say, okay, this is how I feel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just got to get out of my head and start doing another activity. It's not to say you're not dealing with issues. It's just that if this is an issue you've rehashed for any length of time and you haven't really found a resolve, then it's time to bring in new material to be able to figure it out, right? Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this for quite some time. This energy is just too much it's a shift. You just need to make a mental shift, like I said, because you're seeing something as a setback. And again, I don't feel like it's in around your family front, but your stability is definitely in question here in some way. And I feel like your energy isn't powering through as well as it used to. And I feel like your concentration may not be there again because you're seeing something as a loss here. And again, Five of Cups, it's just you feeling a bit of regret around, particular situation. Could be a person here as well, but somebody who's fairly, good with money, or at least has some sense of dealing well with their money. Doesn't mean they're wealthy necessarily with the Queen of Pentacles, but it does mean they're very good with their resources. So I just feel like not all is lost. That's what I want to say. Not all is lost here. So even though you're in this place of feeling like something is, grief and disappointment, whatever. I just feel like you just have to. Even though you're feeling like maybe some of you have been laid off from a job, or maybe there is some disappointment around a job, but again, there's still something here that you can work with. And I'll do June as well, because I think, this might be seeming like it's disheartening, but I just see so many cards that are more positive than not. I just feel like there's a level of burnout and exhaustion that's self-imposed, really. That's something that you're putting on you, and it's going to burn you out faster. So you can't really, move things ahead faster if you're not allowing yourself to recover. Anyway. Okay, so I'll just get right into the other cards here as far as advice. Okay, you're at the end of a cycle. With the cards that I pulled out here, like I said, you have the Ten of Wands, you've got the Ten of Gabriel. There's still changes that are taking place, in the month, because the Ace of Michael is, something that is kind of a it's a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So it might be worth your while there just to take a second look at how you're dealing with situations in terms of, the way you communicate with people, because that might be part of the problem here as well. Five of Ariel, you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. So there's something here where, you're kind of your own worst enemy. Two of Michael, it will all be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem, find a compromise. So learn to negotiate, find a compromise in the situation. Maybe you're holding on too hard and fast around how something should be. Ten of Gabriel, ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. So whether this is actually a card of trying to please too many people, or if this is really about you just not really being able to see through the trees because you're too overwhelmed with so many things to do, and you don't really know, you don't think you've got any help, but in actual fact you do. So it's time to kind of realize that there is something up ahead here that will open up. You just have to be receptive. You just have to be open to it. So you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts and self-fulfilling prophecies. Again, that is you just feeling unlucky about money and so on. And and maybe you just didn't have a lot here in terms of answers to clear up a problem or to create some options. But I feel like part of this is where emotionally and physically, like I said, you're still in a level of drain there. And I think you just need to realize that you can't do it alone. You got to get some help here. And that's where the communication takes place, because cutting yourself off and assuming everything will be fine is not going to work for the month of May. It's important to lead a balanced life is what Ten of Gabriel is all about. So that is really about, if you've taken on too much responsibility, delegate the responsibility. You've got to find a way to reduce your stress so that you can protect your health. There's a lot of that going on for the month of May. I feel like your current challenges are a little bit over what you can normally feel, healthy handling. So this is going to be a time of growth that's going to make you stronger. So I feel like the key for this month is more about, how do I find better resources? How do I ask for help? How do I? So like I said, it looks like something might fall short in this month, but this is where you're going to have to start early on before something goes too far out of your handle and weighs you down with too much stress. Because by the end of the month, there is a level of stress where something is is right by the wire here for you to kind of make something happen. But again, Two of Michael is about trying to find some level of balance in the situation. So again, that goes for time, energy, all of that. And I feel like you'll feel a lot better once you're able to start, stop exhausting yourself and just trust your ability to search for something that's more middle ground. And again, that's still about being temperate and in the way that you move ahead. So again, try to find balance in the way that you communicate. Try to find balance in the way you go ahead. And I think that, just two more cards and then I'm done. All right, so again, the cards came out, aloneness and possibilities. Okay, this one takes me a little longer to find because this is in a book I don't generally read from, but give me a second here to find it. So, okay, so this is, sorry, this is from it's a good book. It's Osho Zen Tarot. It's just a little hard for me to find some of the material in a quick way with this one. So give me a few seconds. Sorry, I'm glad you're patient. Okay, so again, aloneness is almost there, guys. Okay, aloneness. So this is when you are alone. You're not alone. You're simply feeling lonely. So there's a difference between loneliness and aloneness. So when you're lonely, you're thinking of the other. You're missing the other. Loneliness is a negative state. You are feeling that it would have been better off, or would have been better if the other was there, your friend, your wife, your mother, your beloved. It would have been good if the other was there, but the other is not. So loneliness is absence of the other. Aloneness is the presence of oneself. Aloneness is actually very positive, and it is full of presence. So in that, you can fill the whole universe with your presence, and there's no need for anybody. So you can actually feel at one with yourself is basically what it's saying. This is really a time for you to be that light unto yourself, as they say in the Buddhist way, and it's about making your way through the darkness. And again, even though you don't have a map and you don't have a guide, it's still finding the capacity through other connections, in other ways where you can sort of delve and explore and find your own inner truth. So it's really about kind of exploring yourself better so that you don't feel isolated and bitter, and you can actually celebrate the fact that it says your vision is strong enough to survive the powerful human need for the approval of family, friends, or colleagues. So if you're facing such a situation now, be aware of how you are choosing to view your aloneness and take responsibility for the choice that you have made. So that's something that's pretty profound, I would say. 2 more seconds here, and we're just going to find the last one here on possibilities. So a couple more seconds to find that one. I feel like I should have a game show sound in the background here. Sorry, guys. A few more seconds. Okay, so this one is possibilities. Almost there. Got it. Okay, so this one, possibilities. All right, so the mind can accept any boundary, anywhere, but the reality is that by its very nature, existence cannot have any boundary, because what will be beyond the boundary, again, another sky. That's why I'm saying skies upon skies are available for your flight. So in other words, as well, something else to think about is every time you reach one goal, there's always another goal, but there's boundaries around every goal, because that's the challenge. That's why we're here, is we're here to learn. We're trying to find out things about ourselves and resources. And believe it or not, if we didn't have any of our senses, no sound, no hearing, no taste, and all of those things, we wouldn't be experiencing the world in the most profound way that we do experience it now. So it is through our senses that we learn to really explore the world. So whether that includes pain or becomes nothing but pain is something that you choose. It's the energy that you want to find yourself in. You can be grateful for for, the old car that you drive, or you can be grateful for the walk or the bike that you have, but again, having some mode of transportation, some ability to walk or to sense your surroundings is more important than anything overall. Not everybody has that ability, but possibilities, just to move it up back to the book. Those who remain content easily remain small. Small are the joys, small are their ecstasies, small are their silences, small is their being, but there is no need. The smallness is your own imposition upon your freedom, upon your unlimited possibilities, upon your unlimited potential. So in other words, if you see something small and that's all there is, that's all there is. But if you do experience something, it's telling you to take an eagle overview of all possibilities that might be contained in this potential landscape that you see below. So you're flying freely, naturally, effortlessly through the sky, and in his domain, our world basically, it is grand and it's self-contained, but it is at this point where there's a world of possibilities that are open to you to experience. So it doesn't have to turn out exactly as you want. It's just you going after the experience of blank. So it's because you have grown more loving towards yourself. When you're not judging yourself and when you're actually loving towards yourself, that is becoming more self-contained, and you can work easily with others because you love yourself. You're not judging yourself. So because you're relaxed and at ease, you can recognize the possibilities as they present themselves, sometimes even before others can see them, because you are in tune with your own nature and you understand that existence is providing you with exactly what you need. Enjoy the flight. Celebrate all the varied wonders of the landscape spread before you. So see the things in all possibilities. If you want to swim, swim. If you want to fly, find a way to fly in whatever way that is healthy and designed for your best good, something that will allow you to expand. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I'm just going to go on and on and on. Otherwise, until the next read, Gemini, keep moving forward and never give up, and realize you're not alone here. This is just a chance for you to explore and figure out, write out that list of all the things that you want to endure, or that you want, I shouldn't say endure, that you want to explore, in this lifetime. And I think that might help, pen to paper, to help you to sort of figure that out and get out of this place of feeling lack mindset emotionally and something not being good enough. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Enjoy your evening.